if you could have said, all right, before Tua had the hip injury, if I would have said to you, you could have Tua. Pre-hip injury, you can have Tua instead of Haskins.
Still a big.
You probably take him.
What would you have said?
Sure. I don't know, maybe. But I'm kind of against the whole idea of back-to-back quarterbacks. It just makes it so wasteful. I just feel like it's not even fair to Haskins, too.
But unless you think that Tua is going to be
just
much
so
better.
much better. I think there's enough question marks around Tua.
Jason said, though, something during the break, and this is, look, we have no idea. Jason just threw out kind of a hypothetical. What if, when they go to the board and they do their research, the Tua is just
what if he just knows
far
the game
more
better?
Advanced? You know what I mean? Like Haskins is fine, but Tua just sees things like on a Peyton Manning type level, to use a different person. So if he's more advanced and can make all the throws and is healthy, then maybe you do make that move.
If you do have Tua as that next level quarterback and he's a can't misser, sure. But I don't know that he is. I have a lot of questions about it.
Because you may let's just play this down the line.
Your questions are injury related.
Injury, but also size a little bit with him. He's not like he's a runner.
He's 6 foot, maybe 6'1".
What'd
they measure him yesterday, Drab? Did you catch that?
I thought they measured him at 6 foot.
Okay.
Measured him right at 6 foot.
So he's a legit 4 inches smaller than Haskins. Maybe even 5.
I think Haskins is about 6'3" or something, maybe. I don't know.
So maybe 4.
But I do agree with the overall premise. It's a quarterback league. Been saying it for years.
Right, but I think we might have a quarterback.
J.J. Watt, 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, has got no rings because he had, Tom Savage at quarterback.
Right.
At times.
And a dog calling plays as the head coach.
Right, but I think Haskins might be good enough that you don't have to do it.
He might be.
It's a risk, but I think Tua's a risk too.
Of course.
Yeah.
They're all risks.
Yeah. Now, Burrow, I would probably take. I think Burrow's more of a sure thing
Here's
than
where
Tua.
the regret will be that if 2 years from now, so let's say Rivera, they decide to go with Chase Young, and 2 years from now, so they got Haskins in year 2, Haskins in year 3. That Haskins is okay. He's a fair quarterback in the league.
Marginally better than Jameis Winston.
But Tua is on that Drew Brees, Patrick Mahomes level, then you're going to regret it.
Of course.
And look, that's what
you just don't know.
Mahomes has done that in 2 years.
Yeah.
So you're willing to just take Chase Young, stud defensive player,
or trade down and get more picks.
Okay, let's just say Miami wants to move up.
Yeah, I would do that.
Well, that's a great option. But if you can't, what if Miami says we're not giving you what you want? Then you take Chase. You're willing to pass on Tua.
Yes.
Because
I think we have a pretty good quarterback. I think he has a chance to be pretty good. I think his ceiling is pretty high, actually.
I'm willing to pass on Tua to see what you have in Haskins.
Right.
I don't think you've been able to see it yet.
It could be a risk.
Oh, it's definitely risky.
By the way, I think Haskins' floor could be pretty low, too.
Yeah.
Like, I think he is a wild card. Like, I think Haskins could be pretty darn good in this league if he puts it all together, but he also could be a big-time bust.
Yeah.
So hey, what if he Blake Bortles it? He's a Blake Bortles.
Oh, if he's Blake Bortles, then it's not as big a disaster as Bortles because he was picked at 3 and Haskins was picked in the middle of the first round, but it still sets you back. It sets your franchise back.
Bortles was a starter and actually went all the way to an AFC Championship game.
Right.
But let's say he's a Bortles and Tua all of a sudden becomes a Deshaun Watson, Patrick Mahomes.
Well, if that happens,
guys who made an impact
if that
in a couple of
happens,
seasons,
then Chase Young better be racking up 13 to 15 sacks every year. That's what kind of gets you off the hook. Like if Chase Young becomes what you're hoping and expecting he'll be, that takes you off the hook a little bit.
Travis, should we take a couple calls?
We have John coming up next.
John coming up.
You can take one call.
All right, so let's go to. You want to go to Mo?
Sure.
Let's go to Mo.
Mo, what's up, buddy?
Good morning, fellas.
Hey, Mo.
Good morning. That was just for you, Lurch. So,
thank you.
EB, you're kind of flawed here, brother. Okay, you started off with the statement that you don't consider Russell Wilson to be one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL.
Incorrect.
That's preposterous.
Incorrect. I didn't say that.
So what did you? What did you just say? Maybe I misunderstood.
No, I don't think that Tua plays a similar style to Russell Wilson. I'm just saying that. That's all. I don't think they're the same type of quarterback.
They're pretty
They're
similar.
both short, but
They're
I don't
pretty
see
similar.
I don't see Tua as athletic-y, running around, creating with his legs like that.
I think he could. He could.
You do realize that the numbers that Tua put up in college in the most difficult conference in college football trounced Russell Wilson's numbers. And I'm the biggest Russell Wilson fan that you can
Well, hold
find.
on a second,
No,
Mo.
I actually really like Russell
All right,
Wilson.
hold on, Mo. You're saying what I said about Joe Burrow, which you called Burrows yesterday.
Okay, I know that.
you discounted all the numbers.
You discounted. You told me he was overrated. Now you're telling me that Tua is great because he played in the SEC.
No. Well, for one, I said that Burrow numbers were great for 1 year, but Tua has been the goods for 2 to 3 years now. Okay, there's a body of work that you have to pay attention to.
True.
Keep in mind, Joe didn't go off until they brought that coordinator in from the Saints. I don't want to take anything from him, which I kept trying to say yesterday, but we just gotta pull the reins back, and you gotta understand. Look at Haskins. Don't get me wrong; he had a great year at Ohio State. But if you kind of dig deep into the numbers and the production and how far down the field he was actually throwing the ball, then you'll see that there's a higher level of quarterback being played from Tua than Haskins. Now, don't get me wrong, Tua has an incredible medical situation where, I mean, that's ultimately what determines where he's going to go and how high he's going to go. But let's keep it real. How high do you think Haskins' ceiling is, and how high do you think Tua's ceiling? And one more thing. We harp on the whole thing, oh, well, he got better towards the end of the season. Okay, if you actually look at those numbers and that production, that just shows you how bad he was at the beginning of the season. That mediocrity turned into progress for us. Like, we got to keep this thing, like, I'm kind of worked up about it because I've been having this debate with my boys, but we got to slow our roll here. Haskins, honestly, I don't think he's the answer because he doesn't prepare properly. The problems that I have with him.
Supposedly he's worked down there.
Yeah, we don't know what's going on
Supposedly
right
he's
now.
grown.
I
We
think
just
that's
don't
an
know.
overstatement.
All right, Mo, we got to run because we got John coming.
we got John coming.
All right, thank you, buddy.
We'll get John Keim's opinion on
I just think
this.
it's unfair to Dwayne. Dwayne showed enough promise that I wouldn't bail on him. That's all.
It is, and I think in his last 3 games, his numbers were roughly 5 touchdowns to 1 interception.
I think he's grown a lot. I think his ceiling's pretty high. I think his floor is pretty low, too, though.